Welcome to today's edition of the Meeting Point. I am Michael Ikogo. Today we'll be looking at the topic, the call on the federal government by the House of Representatives to declare emergency on ritual killings in Nigeria. On Wednesday, the 9th of February 2022, the House of Representatives resolved to declare a national emergency on ritual killing in Nigeria. It asked the National Orientation Agency, NUJ, stakeholders and the media to initiate a campaign towards changing the situation in the country. It also asked the Inspector General of Police, Usman Akali, to take urgent steps towards tackling ritual killings in the country. This followed a motion by the Deputy Majority Leader of the House of Representatives, Tony Okechukwu, representing PDP in Enugu, who raised the alarm over the surge in ritual-related killings across the country. Mr. Okechukwu, in the motion of urgent public importance, he moved on Wednesday, blamed Nigerian movies, popularly known as Nollywood, for the rising cases of ritual killings. According to Mr. Okechukwu, ritual killing has become a predominant theme in most homemade movies, which, if not checked, our younger generation may begin to view it as an acceptable norm. He drew the attention of the House of Representatives to the gruesome killing of Sophia Kehinde in Ogun State by some 3 teenagers in January for ritual-related act, which also sparked conversation on ritual killing. The 3 teenagers were arrested by local vigilante while attempting to burn the severed head of the late Sophia. Mr. Okechukwu also condemned the use of social media as a ready tool to advertise their evil behaviors. He also accused fake clerics, imams, herbalists, and native doctors of being involved in promoting the get-rich-quick syndrome. Following the presentation of the motion, the House resolved to declare a national emergency on ritual killings in Nigeria and called on National Orientation Agency, parents, heads of religious leaders, and the media to undertake a campaign to change the negative narrative that is beleveling the society. Also, he called on the Executive Director, National Orientation, National Film and Video Censors Board to rise to the mandate of the agency as the clearinghouse of all movies produced in the country. He therefore mandated the House Committee on Information, National Orientation, Ethics and Values to ensure the agency complies with the directive and report back to the House within 4 weeks. Furthermore, the House called on the Inspector General of Police, Usman Akali, to take urgent steps to increase surveillance and intelligence gathering with a view to apprehending and prosecuting all perpetrators of ritual killings in Nigeria. It asked the House Committee on Police Affairs to ensure the compliance of the force and report back to the House within. This really took place yesterday. And to discuss this topic, we have in the studio 2-time Vice Chairman of the Nigerian Union of Journalists, NUJ Delta State Council, and a reporter with the leadership newspapers, Comrade Felix Igbekoyi. Igbekoyi, you are welcome.
Thank you, Chair.
We also have in the studio the chairman of NUJ State Information Chapel, Comrade Kenneth Obieh. Obieh, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
Igbekoyi, let me start with you. How will you describe the step taken by the National Assembly with regards to ritual killing in Nigeria?
Well, it is a step in the right direction. In fact, it's overdue because considering the alarming rate it is going on. Considering the alarming rate the incident is going on, I think if drastic action is not taken, it will get to an extent that the Nigeria will want to regret such a barbaric act and have to be stopped immediately. So the action is timely, it is proper, and it has to take the effect has to take it immediately.
Thank you. Obieh. of you about the motion or the step taken by the House of Representatives to stem this tide?
This act, step they've taken, should have been taken before now. There's no time that is. The truth is that this has really eaten deep into us, and our society is suffering from it. The negative effect of ritual killing has affected us for a very long while in Nigeria. That when we look at it, it is better for us not just to say it, let's start acting. Because if we start acting and following all due regular processes, we can be able to nip this in the bud. Because I'm aware now that the House of Rep has started pushing for it. I pray the executive should follow suit, the judiciary should follow suit, the civil society organizations should follow suit. Everybody should look into it because it is causing so many havoc in our communities.
Okay, thank you. Before now, what we used to hear is that even before our independence, that ritual killing was associated to traditional institutions using human beings to sacrifice to the gods. But as we continue to, evolve in our development, we are now beginning to see to the issue of ritual killing, where the Nigerian youth, rather than looking at how they can impact positively on the society, keep ways to make wealth. In other climes, people are building their youth to be innovative scientifically, technologically, and otherwise. But in our own case, nobody is looking at our youth. Nobody is doing what is feel is good for him or her. Thank God that the representative has taken up this step. Because can you tell me, how did we get to where we are today with regards to ritual killing?
You see, it has to do with the decadence in the society. Let us look at the background, the family upbringing. It has gone to a stage that there is no discipline, there is no control. Parents have abandoned their responsibilities. Why am I saying so? If you look at schools now, our youth are no longer, they are not bothered to go to school. Look at aspect of learning, they are not ready to learn any job. They want quick money. And you see, most of these things, the children or the youth take the lecture from their parents. For instance, I was able to meet a situation whereby a parent, a mother, bought a phone of 400,000 for her son. To do what? To make money. If a parent, a mother could go to such an extent to buy a phone of that amount for her son, to use it to make money, to do 419 or Yahoo, then what do you expect from that son? The repercussion will definitely come. So what I'm saying in essence is that the upbringing has been bad. The society, and don't forget that there is no the problem of unemployment too, because when those of them that are fortunate to graduate, by the time they go to the society, no job, and they want to survive, they want to make money, they want to live like others. You understand? So if by the time you combine all this, you discover that there is a problem. Even when the law enforcement agencies are able to get at some of them, what we hear is that they are investigating, and at the end of the day, you see these guys outside. In fact, the law enforcement agencies patronize them. That makes the matter to be worse. So what we are trying to do, what the issue now is that if what the National Assembly has come out with they can be serious with it, the agencies concerned can work on them and make sure that this thing is nipped at the bud. I think the society can come back to its rightful position.
But you talked about unemployment.
Yes.
If you look at the graduates that graduated between the 80s to 90s, they also suffered unemployment because that was the military era, and there was no enough job to take the graduates that were coming out of universities and polytechnics and college of education as at then. They didn't go into ritual killing. They didn't begin to devise means to make quick wealth. Ken Obieh, what will you think is responsible for this present generation wanting to take shortcuts to wealth?
You cannot rule unemployment from it. The rate of unemployment in our society today compared to the past. In the past, I remember then when they would tell us that if our fathers they finish school, they instantly get job. They're even waiting for you to employ you in a job. But however, I might not want to talk about that unemployment issue because it is a big issue in record of that. But the notion whereby some persons believe that drinking blood or cannibalism will give you wealth and you will not die for life. While some persons believe that if they kill so many other ways to more life to live, it is what we need to look to. Our ethnic growth, our ethnic activities, our notion, our orientation should be properly controlled and corrected, because so many people still believe and they've not been able to correct it. I remember I read that Mary Celeste stopped the killing of twins. It did not happen like a magic, but there were orientation to tell them that it is not, I will continue to say it, it is not magic, but the father, the mother, the church, the communities, we need to put our feet together, because the community will find ourselves today. If we are not careful, we will kill ourselves. Thank you.
Okay, the issue of parents not really looking into the activities of their children. Igbekoyi gave an example where a mother now that's supposed to caution her son, give him the needed advice on why he should not take the step of others who have gone the way of ritual killing, has bought a phone, 100,000, 400,000 worth of phone, and give to the and do Yahoo Yahoo. Yahoo Yahoo has graduated now. When the Yahoo Yahoo thing started, we're now pay money to their. Many people didn't take it as serious as we are seeing it today, because blood was not involved, human killing was not involved. What led to, from investigation, what led to the act of bringing human flesh into money making?
This issue you brought now, you said a mother bought a phone for a child. There's a recent story that happened. If at least a mother they went with his own son, went to a herbalist, and the herbalist told them that for them to get money, they must kill one of his sons. Are you getting it? And they have no choice than to kill his own son. So the issue is that the mother connived with the other son, yes, to kill another one. To kill another one. It's a serious matter. The issue is that the loss and hunger for money in our climate nowadays is so strong. So if you are bringing that issue of say no, the issue is that we need to orient ourselves to know that there is value for human life, that we have lost the sense of the sacred, that we no longer value our co-human being, that we now saw the need that it doesn't count, it's just a common. No, we should know that God has created us as somebody that we should revere. Even the Bible is against killing, taking of innocent blood, but they no longer look at it from that angle, that they don't send any means to get fund, any means to get money is acceptable by them. So these are issues, one, whereby we need to nip it in the bud by starting from every community, every family, every government institution. If all of us put ourselves down to say we want to solve it, we can solve it. But the problem that will happen, the economic situation, the political situation, everything should be looked at. Yes, this step taken by the House of Rep, it should not be a childish one. It should be taken seriously, and we should start working to see that every organ is put together to achieve the aim of trying to see that ritual killing is stopped, no matter what it costs. Because you are from the West. I read in the newspaper recently that some herbalists in the West came up to say there is no shortcut. You can't make wet using human flesh. That anybody that is found carrying human parts, all in the name of trying to make ritual,
should be arrested and prosecuted. Did you read it, and what is your reaction to that?
Yes, they may be saying the truth. Why I use the word may is because I brought an instance now, the issue of a mother who bought a phone for her child, her son. You see, this issue of ritual didn't start today. The National Assembly members that raised an alarm yesterday, they are part and parcel of this problem.
Are they also involved in ritual killing?
Directly or indirectly. Directly because they display wealth to the detriment of our youth. They display wealth to arouse unnecessary feelings among our youth. How did they make the money? Don't forget that an aspect of corruption is also a ritual act. When you get money, billions, unnecessarily, either through the means of abandoned projects, it's also a ritual act because you have deprived a lot of people from having access to that project. Then you begin to display wealth. Within some few, maybe months or years, you have acquired everything you are not supposed to have acquired. And these youths are looking at you, they are jobless. Let me remind you again, most of these, our elders, they belong to one court or the other. And these children are watching. They are looking at them. So when you see your father or your mother belonging, is a member of a court, one of the court society, and you see that he doesn't sleep at home in the night. He goes from morning, running, performing, buying goat, buying ram, buying this thing, fowl to perform rituals. And the children are looking at. In fact, most of them even send the children to the market to buy all these things. Go and prepare this. Go and add this to this. Go and pour that leaf. They are already preparing the children for something. And they see that maybe the one way or the other, their father, the business is booming. What are they teaching the children? So the society, you cannot, I'm not supporting ritual killing. It's abominable. In fact, it should be condemned totally. But what I'm saying is that those that are condemning it, they should search their mind. Are they free from that condemnation? We do respect our politicians. Are you not aware that our politicians go from one place to the other to perform rituals so that they can win election? Likewise, some pastors. We should tell ourselves the truth. If the National Assembly is going to work, let them work outrightly. Let them from toe to the hair. Let them first of all condemn themselves. Then start the work. You see that the cleansing will be proper. But when you leave an aspect and you say only the youths are involved in ritual killing, who are the herbalists preparing the concoctions for them?
Are they youths?
Are they youths? Are they not elders? Are they not pastors? Are they not imams? Are they not elderly who are vouched in preparing concoctions? The elders too, while they are hitting the youth, they should also hit the elders. Please.
Okay, the House of Rep did not really concentrate their call on only the youth. They said there must be a holistic effort to stem the tide, which means if the elderly are involved, they should also find a way of curbing it at that level. If the youth are involved, they should also find a way of curbing it. You rightly pointed out that most of these herbalists that they run to may not be used. That is quite true, because the youth who are just trainees in herbal practice may not be rooted to begin to perform ritual killings in that aspect. So the elderly ones who are also involved, who are making this youth to believe that there is wealth through ritual killing, should also desist from it. Obieh, recently one pastor, while he was preaching, because we have also observed that some churches are praying for people. They will tell their members, oh, your mates have started making money. I've been praying for you as your own ritual, your own Yahoo has not started paying. What are you doing? And a pastor recently rose up to challenge this situation and place costs on ritual killings. Those who are perpetuating it, those who are making money through ritual killing, that it will not be well with them. Some other pastors also rose up to challenge the man and say, you don't have right to say that. Do you see our clergy is not agreeing to fighting this cause?
I was taught when I was growing up that religion is the opium of the masses. That religion control and regulate us sometimes. That we now see a lot of our men of God, as even God, they place themselves in that categories. And when you deviate from what they say, other members see you as a devil or as a deviant. And it's as if
they see you as an unbeliever.
Yes, and it's as if you are a curse. So in that premise, religion is very important to correct these issues. And the truth is that so many of our religious leaders, they have not really led us properly. Some of them are even wicked or more devilish than the devil himself. The truth is that a true believer and a true man of God is known by his antecedent. But however, it is difficult to know them. In our religious settings nowadays, we are so populated in Nigeria as people serving God. But the corruption that comes out of the house of God is even worse. We have not looked at that side. So if you want to tell me that some pastors support rituals, it's a sign that those pastors are killing people to make money or to bring people to join their church because of the things they do behind. These are the questions government should look at. One, government should look at those pastors that have said these things. But however, if government wants to go to them now, people will say, you want to go for a man of God or because of something that happened. These are issues we should consider. If a pastor, because one, if you go to the civilized climes, you cannot even see things like this. If you are deviating from your religious practice, you will be questioned. But in Nigeria, it is not like that. Any man of God can come to the telly and say, Mike will be the president tomorrow because God has revealed it to me. It is not. It's not happening in other climes. So if we thoroughly look at issues properly, we will know that so many of our churches ought not to exist, and so many of those pastors ought not to be anointed as pastors. They just made themselves ordained pastors.
No, some of them are not ordained. They just when they look at there's no job, they can now open one place.
Just to make money for themselves. There are so many churches, mushroom churches, and churches that are at least already existing. But government should look at that because that is a way whereby we can also correct these ritual killings. It will help us in that category. But I want to also mention one again: our moving industries. It will help us because one, whether cartoons or Nollywood, the film, these vampiric issues in those films, they also look at it because the ritual killings there, as they grow up, they believe that it is reality because a lot of them are mass wet because they kill people. So these are Nollywood films or cartoons. They should be able to regulate them so that they don't lead us astray or so that they don't lead those that are not even too strong to watch those films in the appropriate ways. So they should also look at that because there are also forms of building people's image or building our societies. So the church, as they build societies, the film will also watch the build societies. So we should work in that category to correct them.
Yeah, I want to agree with you because some of our youth are, moved to begin to imitate some of these actors that they see on home video. I remember recently after the Obieh Kubana's mother's burial, Yul Edochie came up on Facebook or Twitter to say that please, those things I act are not what I do. They are just films. They are just acting. They are just rules that are assigned to me. Thank God the National Assembly has also said we should, the Film Censors Board should also look at how they can regulate the films that comes out of our country, particularly the Nollywood aspect. It must follow it holistically. Because for some time now you have seen home videos glorifying ritual killing. Has that not contributed to what the mess we are finding ourselves today?
Well, it has contributed to this mess greatly. There's no hiding the truth about that. You see, and it also boils down to the issue of Christianity or religion you are talking about.
No, look at the home video now. Home video has not to do. It can be a pagan, it can be a traditionalist that is acting that home video. But what I say, have they promoted this ritual killing that has influenced our youth to begin to look in that direction?
It has promoted it. And that is why, like my friend said, we need to regulate most of these films and movies. You see, it is the moving, the board should not only be looking at how much it will generate, just sitting down in the office expecting much money from these producers. They should also take pain to at least regulate, look at what they are dishing out to the society and see, is there any moral here? Will it lead to the development of the society or cause a lot of damage to the society? So the board, the commission has a lot to do in that regard. Then to our producers and our actors and actresses, you see,
even the script writers.
Even the script writers. It will be everybody affair. You see now, so I expect that before you are allowed to practice, you should be a professional. It's just like this our job. Before you can be a journalist.
We'll see how quack is journalism. Don't rule out the presence of quack is
there are so many people that read theater art now. There are so many people read English and the aspect of drama. They are outside. They are not being engaged. You should not consider only the beauty or whether you are ugly or you can dance or you can do this. They should streamline those they are admitting and also look at what they are, the spirit and what they are bringing to the society. On that note, you discover that this mess can also be, if not totally stopped instantly, can be reduced. So they have contributed a lot of damage to it. It's not only in Hollywood, even the English movies that people watch, there is one children like watching. You see, there are a lot of morals, immorality that goes with watching film. So it's not only, they should not concentrate only on Nollywood. If they concentrate only on Nollywood, we are not even solving the problem. Okay. There are also other aspects of film, other aspects
even music.
Even music, because we're good, because we look at what our musicians are singing nowadays. I could remember during Obasanjo's time, there was a music band, Nigeria Jaga also. Yeah. What moral is he bringing out? Likewise, this morning, when they see that there are a lot of immorality there, they should stop it instantly. Forget about what the script writer or whatever they are paying to the commission. So please, it's very important.
Okay, thank you very much. I think for the home video aspect, that is the Nollywood, both the producers, the script writers, the producers, the actors, the censors board, and all of them must put their hands on deck to ensure that what they churn out don't have negative effect on our society. Because if the script writer did not glorify ritual killing, get rich quick syndrome,
yes,
and other vices that will make our youth to begin to think in that direction, I don't think they will have it on our TV stations for them to shoot. There is a musician I watched yesterday, one global act that that musician did. I can't mention it here, but that musician need to be arrested. He was all like acting a blue film and posted into the social media. You understand? So those are the things the government should start looking into, because by the time that video starts trending on social media to a level, some youths may want to be doing it, because what they do now is that when your video is trending because of this money they are making through the social media, many youths are bringing up items that are not supposed to be viewed by the youths, but because it's in the social media, anybody will have access to it. Control will no longer be there. So this call by the National Assembly must be taken beyond the ritual alone. All these aspects that we are looking at should also be looked into. The parents, you made mention of the role of parents that has contributed to this mess that we are seeing access today. What do you think that parents should start doing to disabuse the mind of our youth on the negative vices of ritual killing?
When I started, I told you about displaying wealth by parents, by our leaders. Because when you are displaying wealth unnecessarily, you are indirectly bringing immorality to the society. That is one aspect of it. Monitor your children. If you have sent your children to school, make sure he or she goes to that school. If it's in boarding house, make sure he goes to school and come back home. So that he will not go with friends that are not properly brought up. Because most of this aspect of rituals, they are being introduced to them through their friends, you know. So that is one aspect of it. Monitor your children wherever they are, and make sure that whatever you are, whatever you give them, they are contented with whatever you give them. It's not looking elsewhere to say, I should have gotten this. You understand? Let me give you an instance. I will not mention the name of a parent. He has been taking a child to school. This is his child in primary school. There was a day he was taking this girl to school. His car developed fault on the road. The man has to go with a bike. When he got to the high school, the first question the girl asked was, "Daddy, where's your car?" The father said, my car has a fault when I was coming. Let us go with this bike. Do you know a child, a girl in primary school, refused to go with her father on bike? He said, my friends will laugh at me. Could you imagine? Because of the kind of discussion we have been having with her friends. So excuse me. What I'm saying is that monitor your child properly. Know the kind of friends he's going out with. Even if he's going out, if he wants to marry, you should be able to know. Don't just leave your daughter to know the parents of the house he's going or where he's marrying. You as a mother, as a father, should take it upon yourself to go and know the family. Because you just have to know where he's going. And again, look at these people. There was this incident, this ritual, Osun State, where they took a girl, two boys took a girl to an hotel. They lodged. After 3 days, the two guys were about to check out. So while they were in the room, there was a kind of chat which another guest had, and he alerted the reception, management of the hotel. So now lay an ambush for the two guys. The two guys were checking out. They stopped them. Where is the third person? You people went at it. They said the girl was sleeping. Now once he wake up, he will join them. They said, okay, no problem. Let's go and check. When they got to the room, they have slaughtered this girl. They killed her. They removed some parts, the eyes, the tongue, the breast, and others. When they were interrogating these guys, how do you get at these girls? You know what they said? They said they have 3 ways of getting them. 1, you go out with flashy cars. Secondly, you buy things for them, take them out. And thirdly, you can buy phone. What is really nice, buy phone for them. With all these girls.
Expensive phone.
iPhone. Once you are able to buy 3 iPhone for them, they can go with you to anywhere. And that is why how they meet their untimely death. So what am I saying? They said that A properly brought up child should not be anxious to use when you are even though you are an undergrad, even though you are a working class, you should not be desperate to use iPhone. You should not be desperate for a guy who is 15, 16, less than 20 years old using a 20 million car, and you are comfortable. In fact, the parents are some parents are even happy that their daughter they have arrived. They come home with a guy of less than 20 years with flashy cars. Those are areas the parents need to monitor their child. In fact, if your son comes out with, even though he's a graduate of no less than a year or two, coming home with a car of 40 million, 30 million, and you are happy, you didn't ask question. Your daughter come with a boy of 17 years. He went to show that, look at my boyfriend, he just built this house. What 50 million? And you are happy. These are areas you need to monitor your child. And if parents are serious, are anxious to do this, you will discover that most of these ritualists, they will run away. They will not be in the society. They will not live among us. People even sell their land for them. You look at house rent in Asaba now. The highest they give it to they are not even give it to the highest bidder. A woman, some rooms now go for 300,000. 1 room. Yes. They give it to the highest bidder. All these boys. You won't ask question. Now your daughter is inside the house. You are not even sleeping. You are not sleeping with your 2 eyes closed. Because you have collected money. The money is not pursuing you. So parents still have a lot to do.
Yeah. Okay, Obieh, Igbekoyi just mentioned our young guests wanting to live flamboyant life when they have not even gotten to the age that they should make money. Because a young boy of 16 years, 15 years, 20 years is driving an expensive car, they will easily want to hop in just to feel that they are the happening type.
Yes, sir.
What will you say about our guests wanting to live a flamboyant life when their parents are even poor? I watched a video yesterday. One boy was working in the city. The mother came to visit him and he was going to work. He didn't allow the mother to enter because the mother was looking shabby. So unfortunately for him, he drove to work, and when he was coming back, the boss in the office followed him home. As they were entering the compound, they saw the woman. The boy now said, the boss now asked the boy, who is this woman? The guy said, it's a beggar. The woman now shouted, me, beggar? I'm the mother. The boss was angry and told the guy, you are living big in the city. Look at your mother at home. You cannot, in the village, you cannot take care of her. Because you have refused to take care of your mother and you have denied her, your work I will no longer give you. So they argued to an extent and told the boy, okay, I will give you back your work, but will you agree that 20% of your salary will go to your mother? The boy accepted. And the boss drove the mother to buy food for the mother, because since morning, when the mother came, she has not eaten. So that is the kind of life we are living in the city. Some people are living first life. What would be your advice to our guests who want to follow these boys that are living first life in the city while in their villages their parents are suffering?
I would not want to speak just for the girls alone. I want to speak as the first thing, as a family, whether father, mother, girl and boy. We have lost the dignity of morality. Whether you are a girl or a boy or a father, we have lost the dignity of morality first of all. One, if you have children, as a father and mother, you know you want them to achieve something great in the future. We should start from the beginning. Whereby, when you wake up in the morning or in the evening, you pray together. You read your Bible together. You teach them good morals. Secondly, again, when they go to school, when they come back, you check their notes. You make them understand if they fail, if they got it well. I still remember nowadays, if your child fails in primary 1 and he wants to go to primary 2, you say no. You go and see to it that the child must go to primary school, then you pay for it, or you take that child from that school. These are steps of taking the child away into those attitudes. And again, we now have in a life whereby we compete. And if I did not get what you are having, I need to see other means to get it. or I am frustrated. And this frustration leads us into doing these things we are doing. These are issues some of our parents do not even understand foundations. This foundation have already been broken. Because if parents knows that if I flog this child, it will change the child. We don't flog child we flog them so that we can correct them. Are you getting it? Some persons don't even understand that situation. It is when the child is now big, it's now getting AY, you now want to correct the child. You have already failed it. So the foundation of giving that child a moral upbringing will feed from there. That is why nowadays children no longer see the need. They see people as animals. They want to kill people. They can do anything. As you grew up, I know some persons, whenever you see a child holding knife, you're able to correct the child that it is not good to hold knife. It is not good to kill. It is not good to curse. It is not good to steal. It is not good to lie. You start this thing from the beginning. And as you are teaching the child, you are also practicing it. Because these children, they are looking at us. They are watching our steps. I cannot imagine a child, a father will tell a child, if they come and look for me, tell them I'm not around and you're inside the house. The child will learn from it. These little principles are what is emanating in our society we find ourselves today. Because one, we take them that they are not important. When they grow, we correct them. They will start it from the beginning. So this morality now, these children, since they were not contented with what they have, they are not contented. When they see their friends splashing the money, when they see their friends living those gorgeous and ostentatious life, they want to copy from them. And some of us copy, so some of these children copying from them. They even have more than those people. And again, there's another thing again. Confidence between father or mother and the children. Your child should be able to have confidence in you. That when they come back, hey, daddy, my auntie said this, my friend said this, my this said this. If I have discussed with you as my peer group, I should be able to discuss with my father. So that he can give me superior advice in respect of what they said. But because the parents has closed it, that when you come, they will kill you, you'll be afraid to express it. You will not go and share it to another of your friends that might not give you the positive advice that is needed. These are the issues that is always making our children to make mistakes. I did not support a child being pregnant. But however, if the parents have not done it appropriately, and coincidentally that child is pregnant, a parent should be able to accept to tell the child, because one, if that child is pregnant and he feels that the parents might be able to affect him or molest him, the child might go and do abortion, and that abortion might take the life of the child. So these are issues also, confidence between you and your children. This also help to make them understand the adverse effect
of getting into that.
Of getting out of that situation.
Just recently, I think in January, one girl, Hanifa, was kidnapped by the teacher in Kano. They asked for 6 million ransom. Whether they pay, I can't remember exactly whether they pay or they didn't pay. But at the end of the day, because the child was able to recognize the teacher, they ended up murdering that 6-year-old child. And it raised a lot of issues in the country. I know that the law may have taken its course, that prosecuting the teacher or taking him to court. The school ought to be a place to breed children to become responsible children as they grow up. But what we are seeing today, the teachers are no longer interested in building the morals of the children. Rather, they are looking for ways to either molest them sexually, harass them for money, or even kidnap them for ransom. What will you say about the school? Because the National Assembly has also asked that all these sectors should rise up and begin to do the right thing.
Yes, the decadence cannot be ruled out. Why am I saying this? If you look at schools nowadays, you cannot compare the schools presently with the school our elders went to years back. That time, I read it in history that they took religious studies seriously. you observe the 10 commandments. In fact, you'll be anxious to go to school early in the morning so that you can meet the assembly where people pray. At times, even read Bible or Quran before they go to their classes. But most of the schools nowadays is from home, house to class. In fact, some schools do not even conduct assembly, not to talk of pray. Some people don't even know what you say 10, or they don't even know what you mean by 10 commandments. You shall not steal. You shall not commit adultery. You shall respect your father and your parents. They don't say commandment. They will ask you that what is commandment? What is commandment in the Bible? So schools are no longer schools. Secondly, our schools were funded. You also look at the aspect of funding. Some schools are dilapidated. No roof, nothing. Somebody observed recently that just tap the head, the control. The school cannot change it.
They are waiting for government.
They are waiting for government to change it. Teachers go as far as buy water instead of changing that. What will not cost more than 500 naira. I went to that, just talking about primary, secondary now. I went to one university recently to process my transcript. I saw a place where they call Yahoo Park. Yahoo Park. They have their own park. Students have their own Yahoo Park. You see the kind of cars there, expensive cars there. Even lecturers, professors, they could not. I'm not sure any of them have such an expensive cars. Professors that are teaching them. These students don't go to class. But they pass. They come out with good grace. Because they can buy anybody. They can buy anything.
Anything buyable.
Anything buyable. So, what happened to the girl you mentioned? Only God knows what happened. Only God knows what pushed the man. It was a bad act. The action was totally condemnable. But if you look at that man too, was he living well? Don't forget a word called poverty. Poverty can lead you to do what you never dreamt of doing. That is why I'm saying the aspect of displaying wealth by our politicians.
But if before you continue, sir, sorry.
Okay.
If you have a sound moral upbringing, where you are taught the tenets of hard work,
yes,
that hard work will pay,
yes,
so long as you are dedicated to it. No amount of poverty will push you to go into ritual killing. No amount of poverty will push you into kidnapping. No amount of poverty will push you into Yahoo. Because the Bible made us to understand that the poor will always be with us. So why do we want to compare ourselves with those who are rich? If God has not created us to be, all of us cannot be rich. That is what God made us to understand. So will you say that it is poverty that is pushing them?
I'm not sure God created anybody to be poor.
Christ said it, I can't remember the portion, that the poor you always have with you.
But nobody will want to belong to that category of.
No, but since Christ has said it, and Christ has standard.
And everybody, as Christians, I always say it's not my portion. As
Christians. No, you can say it's not your portion. But that will not make you to go and begin to do ritual.
Fine.
It's not your portion, will push you to work hard.
Chairman, you are saying the truth. Everybody continue to work. You are working hard. Likewise, every other person we are working hard. But what we are saying is that while you are working hard, nobody should influence or give you a kind of signal that whether I met a guy or one of the ritualists, one of the Yahoo boys. He said, I have just 5 years to live. So whatever I can achieve now, I am ready to do that. Morality upgrading is very important. Let us talk to ourselves. Let us talk to our parents. Let us talk to our neighbors. And at the same time, let us be very careful with whatever we are doing. So the aspect of school, let us do what is needful. Yeah. Let every amenities, let the school be conducive.
Okay. Thank you very much. The media was not left out. Time is not our side. By way of summary, the media was not left out in this call for holistic approach to changing the narratives. What do you think the media should do?
The media should continue to fight the cause of campaigning against ritual killing. The media should be on the forefront, and they should try in all means to see that they hold all the government institutions accountable any way they are missing. Because what is on Ghana is a sign that the institutions are weak. If government institutions are proactive, these issues will be solved. I'm sincerely happy of the step already taken by saying it, but I want to see that government goes into action of trying to see that, or whether the civil societies, government, and every one of us to start taking steps to see that this is reduced to the barest minimum. It is true that we cannot reduce it totally, but we should reduce to the barest minimum for the sake of our upcoming generation. Thank you.
Yes, this alarm, I'm still insisting. This alarm raised by the National Assembly, the press should also monitor the alarm. We should make sure that the National Assembly that raised this alarm, we monitor it, and it is being executed. It's not just raising an alarm and go to bed.
But what about the police? Has police done enough in this?
I was trying to talk on that. You shut me out. The police, they will always say, we made 5 arrests, we made 10 arrests, we are investigating. So we will take them to court. At the end of the day, the people we took to court, what is the result? Again, our legal brothers, lawyers, the legal process, they should know the kind of people they will defend. I don't expect a lawyer who is a professional to go to court and defend a kidnapper or a ritualist, somebody that killed, somebody that kidnapped, collected ransom and killed. You are still going to call, you are calling in your client. Those are aspects we need to monitor and see that the society is sanitized.
Okay, thank you very much. The topic has been called by the House of Representatives to declare emergency on ritual killing in Nigeria. Our guest has been able to bear their minds on the issue that has to do with ritual killings. They also are of the opinion that every Dick and Harry should support the call by the House of Representatives. All the stakeholders involved in changing our society, in setting an agenda for the society, should wake up to their responsibilities. The National Assembly itself live to your billing and ensure that this declaration is followed with the desired commitment and interest. The police should ensure that they carry out investigations properly and ensure that some of these acts are nipped in the bud. The church and the mosque, the imams and the clerics should rise up to the occasion and begin to lay the solid foundation for our youth to follow. Because if the church fail to abhor ritual killing, it will continue to thrive. Let us join our voices. The family should also monitor the friends that their children keep, the kind of places they visit, the kind of friends they make. Our guests who are now victims of ritual killing should also mind the kind of boyfriends they keep. When they invite you to a party that is not within your jurisdiction, don't go. Ensure that you know the boyfriend you are moving with. Even when you know them, be suspicious, because now everybody is a suspect. We don't know who is who. We don't know who is going to carry out the next act of ritual killing. We must be mindful. the school should teach the basics and ensure that the teachers they recruit, both at government and private schools, are men and women of impeccable character with sound morals, so that we don't end up entrusting our children in the hands of ritual killers. Felix Igbekoyi, I want to thank you for coming to this program. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Obieh, God bless you for coming.
Thank you.
I am Michael Ikobo. Thank you for joining us today.